Good afternoon, everyone. I hope all is well. As you can see, I have taken down a part of the eastern side of my island. It's just a small plot where I used to have some winter holiday decorations. Now the winter holidays are coming to a close, and I wanted to fill this space with something new and different. Today, I'm going to take my inspiration from a Japanese print called Twilight at Kudan by the artist Koshiro Onchi. It is, I'll show you right now, it is a cityscape which includes in the foreground this really neat monument or park with two monuments in it, which are a stone lion and looks like a large lamp, which are items in the game that I think we can use easily to replicate this park. I won't be able to do the beautiful cityscape in the background, but if I can draw inspiration from that monumental or park with two monuments, I think that will be enough. So let's see how this goes. Now, to make the monuments taller, I'm going to build a couple of really skinny cliffs to make it look like the base or bottom of the monument. I think this should work out really well. First, I need to turn on the Island Designer app, and that's what's going on right now. Here we go. So I am building up a couple of skinny cliffs here, just big enough for me to crawl or climb on top of, and place a couple of objects, and then I will take down the extra space that I used just to climb up. And I will put the lamp or lantern on this first one, if it will let me do so. This should work. Very good, and I will turn it over because the light was showing in that print there. And I customized this to be a white pattern to make it a little bit more like, I think, a monument or a sculpture as opposed to a lantern. Okay, let's go ahead and put this stone lion as well. This one in the foreground. And turn that in the opposite direction so it looks like it's facing the street or the walkway. As for the bottom, I decided to use this fencing. Let me pull this up here for you. This end fencing. It fits the Japanese theme in a way, and it makes for a nice man-made looking base or structure. And what I'll be doing as well is putting some fencing around the border or perimeter, sort of like it is in the print, to wall off what I'm going to call a city or urban park. This print was done in the style, or I guess the movement called the Susaku Hanga movement. It is a modern printmaking movement that flourished in the early 1900s. Oh, I might have blocked myself in. Oh, here it is. And the artist of this particular print, Koshiro Onchi, was considered one of the, if not a founder or foundational figure, certainly a mover and shaker in this field. Okay, let's go ahead and let's build some out here. Okay, I think that'll be a good edge to the boundary. It occurred to me that I might want to put some pathing down. Let's see how that works. Perhaps around the sides of the monuments here. Since this is a city park, I'm going to consider this perhaps more like an overlook or an area for people to walk, I think I will go ahead and put pathing down on this whole section here. I was reading up on the Sosaku Hanga movement, and I found it interesting that this particular type of Japanese printmaking considered itself to draw on influences in the West. So rather than having a sort of a, what do I want to call it, a division between the artist and the printmaker and the publisher, the artist actually took over the entire process. So the artist was responsible for the engraving, the printing, and the publishing, allowing the artist to really work with different textures or different approaches, incorporating those into their artistic style. I think I will round out this corner. Oh, it might not let me round. Oh, it does round out the corner a little bit there. This movement started in very early 1900s and didn't really catch on. More established organizations and universities didn't really support or recognize this movement for, I guess, what it was. It was actually after World War II where it really picked up. It really flourished, in part, I've read, because in Japan, after World War II, many, actually American collectors, tourists, business people, even American GIs spent more of their time in Japan and supported this form of art. It started out, for many of the artists, a little bit more representational or realistic perhaps, but most cases the artists took on abstract, more abstract approaches. Again, drawing upon Europe, Western influences, including Impressionism. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and build some of this fence. I don't like the size of this. I'm going to take this down one more notch. Okay, to make this uniform, I'm going to clear off one row of this pathing. What I like about this build is it uses perhaps more the pathing and the geometry of this, so I didn't have to use too many items, which is nice. It's pretty much just this fencing and those monuments. I'll add a few more street lamps, I believe. And I also have a bike I'm just going to throw in the background because the see if I want to make this a walkway. That works. I also have a bike to throw in the background because the print has a nice bicyclist there trying to do his best going down the city street. There we go. I like doing these tees every once in a while with the fences. So it makes it look like a little bit more like a gate. I'm going to make this a little wider. I think I will also bring this end of the path in because I like to have enough space to walk in between things. I want a walkway between the gate and this house. So let's do that. I think I'll also put an opening on this end too, so people can walk in from all different sides. Although the spacing will be a challenge. Here, let's put our end one here. See how much space we have left. So I will fit. Okay, this will be a skinny entrance. Great. So yeah, I was reading about the artist because I'm less familiar with Asian artists or Japanese artists, especially with prints. But considering this game has so many great Japanese-influenced items, it really is nice to be able to access these types of this type of artwork to be inspirations. But anyway, I was reading about Koshiro Onchi, and it turns out he was originally born in an aristocratic family and had access to some of the best education around. Started out actually going to art school. Oh, that looks good. Going to art school, working with oil painting, but later on got training and took up printing, and eventually these prints. Oh, very good. So I am starting to like this urban or city park that has a little bit more paving, but monuments. Even though the print itself didn't have those benches, I'm thinking that I'm going to take a little artistic license and have some benches here. Let's put up some street lamps because there are street lamps in the print. Very good. Let's find a spot for this bike and we should be all set. Here it is. Well, I am excited. I just turned this rather empty area into a cute city park with 2 monuments, with a fun walled-in walkway and some areas to sit in, framed by street lamps, and a little bike here to pay homage for that poor bicyclist in the print who's just trying to get around. Well, thank you so much for joining me on this quick build. I hope you are equally inspired to do your own city monument park type of arrangement. I am finding this quite nice. Take care, everyone.